Good evening, everyone. A while back, my family had to sell my car because reasons. Everything's okay, everything's fine. I totally understand, it's totally fine. Financial hiccups happen to absolutely everyone at some point in their lives. But that car, it was significant. That was the first car that I could say was mine. And I'm not gonna lie, driving it and seeing it for the last time actually made me pretty emotional. It's like saying goodbye to a friend forever. Her name was Rhiannon. She was a gorgeous Toyota FJ Cruiser. And we went on so many adventures together. I guess the reason why became so attached to an inanimate object like that is because, I am adventurous as fuck, and just looking at that car, one of the first words that comes into your mind is adventure. And hell, it's a 4x4 vehicle. It's designed for adventure. Plenty of great memories were made because of that car. And why not? I'm gonna share some of them with you. So my family bought Rhiannon in the summer of 2013. And driving home, I felt so fucking excited. I was in total control of this revving, humming vehicle. My iPod, which was connected via aux cable, was playing the Fleetwood Mac song Rhiannon. And that's when I knew that's what I would name the car, Rhiannon. I called up two of my friends and said, hey, you, let's go on a Gilbert adventure around the countryside in my new car. Poncho and Robert were their names. Oh dear. Oh dear. This is what happens when you get too cocky with your new vehicle. So we were driving in the countryside, late at night. Nobody was supposed to tell their parents. Nobody does this stupid shit, driving around the countryside, just for the hell of it in the middle of the night. At around 10 p.m., we see this stretch of mud that's in front of us. And I'm thinking, psh, please, I'm driving a 4x4 vehicle. This should be absolutely no problem at all. So, what do? I activate the 4x4. Reverse. So I put it in drive with the 4x4 on. And then all four wheels started spinning faster and faster and faster to the mud. And then, boom, water and dirt and mud started splashing everywhere as Rhiannon sailed through the fucking bog. And my two friends were cheering. They're like, yeah, we're doing it. And then a big splash, and we are stuck. We're stuck. So after doing everything that I could possibly do at that moment, I went inside to inspect the tires. Turns out, as soon as I stepped out, I stepped on solid ground. All the mud was behind me, but as it turned out, I did the rookie mistake of driving on another vehicle's tire ruts. And that vehicle that was driving on that road before me, while the mud was fresher, had the wheels taller than Rhiannon's wheels, meaning that the underside of the car was physically on the hardened ground while all four wheels were spinning in the air. So it was like a beached whale. There was no hope of getting unstuck without moving massive amounts of dirt. So we all did something naughty that we were not supposed to do. We had to lie. So we all got together and agreed to tell our parents that we would be watching Man of Steel, which was the hot movie that summer, at 11 p.m. at the Cinemark. Luckily, hopefully that would buy us 2 hours of time to figure out what the hell to do and to get us out of this fucking stupid mess. The 2 hours and 30 minutes or so, however long the movie was, yeah, that time was gone. The time that we thought would be enough to get us out, disappeared. So another half hour passes. It's 2 a.m. or so. And we're thinking, guys, we just gotta tell our parents. It's no use. So I called my parents. My mother was so sad. She wasn't sad that I got stuck. She got disappointed that I lied to her. And everyone knows it is worse. It is absolutely worse to get a parent disappointed at you than mad at you. So she sends my father to go along to where we are. I tell him where we are so he could just look around and inspect. So he shows up and he's like, son, why? The disappointment is so fucking tangible. And he calls over a guy from a town an hour away because the only rope that was long enough that had any fucking hope of reaching us was an hour away. So we had to wait an hour for this guy to come to where we were, trouble him at fucking 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever the fucking a.m. it was, to pull us out of the damn mud. So to pass the time, we're telling stories, singing songs, classic rock, while we are getting devoured by mosquitoes. And then finally, like at 5 a.m. or so, this guy comes. Not even in a pickup truck, just a big van. And the driver, our savior, was this old, shirtless Mexican man who came out and said, "Hombre, anda bien atorado, güey." Like, no shit, we know that. He hooks us up and pulls us out in a procedure that lasted like, say, 20, 30 minutes or so. When that car moved, we cheered. We're like, yeah! Oh, I have never been so happy in the face of disappointment. By the time the car was out, the sun was already starting to come out. Needless to say, that was the worst all-nighter I have ever had. Fortunately, I don't know how, but I'm still good friends with the two guys that were in the car that night. So shout out to you, Robert and Poncho, for enduring that shit with me. Luckily, the punishment wasn't forever, and Rhiannon and I got reunited again, and we just got back to driving around the countryside, going on adventures. And sometimes I brought my friends along. We called them Gilbert Adventures. Yeah, I like those very, very much because I don't know what it is about the countryside, but it gets people to talk. But something that really, really gets people to talk: a road trip. The summer after my freshman year in college, I had the pleasure of going on 2 road trips. Once to Austin and another to College Station, Texas. 4 of us went to Austin, Texas to attend a symphony where they played music from the Legend of Zelda games. Oh my goodness. When you play beautiful music with beautiful instruments, oh, It sounds lovely. Afterwards, we went adventuring throughout the whole city of Austin, walking around, going to an improv theater to enjoy a show, staying at a tacky Motel 6, but it was still fun. We enjoyed every minute of it. It was a Poncho who was one of the guys that got stuck with me in the mud. He suggested that since we were going to attend a ceremony, symphony, we should dress up in suits and ties. So why the fuck not? We dressed up in suits and ties. But when we got there, we realized that we were the fanciest motherfuckers there because nobody else was wearing suits and ties. Everybody was wearing casual clothing. Some were even dressed in costumes as the Legend of Zelda characters. But I gotta hand it to them. It made the day very, really memorable. And the second road trip to College Station, Texas, we drove 7-8 hours there through beautiful rural Texas to a friend's Robert's apartment. The other guy that got stuck with me in the mud. Yeah, we drove over to his apartment next to Texas A&M University to build the sixth Hallelujah sandwich. I talked about it in a previous vlog, but basically the Hallelujah sandwich is something I do every year where I build a giant sandwich with random ingredients. And while we were there, we we were just shitting the stick, having fun, just playing games, visiting A&M University, just enjoying the towns of College Station and the one right next to it, Bryan. It was definitely a highlight of that particular summer. All those memories, getting stuck and the road trips and all the adventuring just wouldn't be possible if it weren't for Rhiannon the FJ Cruiser. I'm gonna miss that car. And I'm hoping that whoever will be the future owner of that car will treat it nicely so they could keep on making memories of their own. Take care and kick ass.